Long down the right side. Caught. Touchdown, Washington State.
Long three.
What a catch by Phillip Bobo.
The Palouse is going to pop.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Fieldhouse Report. I'm Drew Kalahar alongside my partner, Cougar Carlson. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be back with Drew, and obviously it was special being able to have our episode live from RV1 in front of the Taylor Sports Complex and being able to do it with you physically in person. That was special, so I enjoyed it, and I had a great time. So,
yeah, absolutely. The energy there, the whole atmosphere around the tailgate lots is always special, but especially at Apple Cup time, it's just unique. There's an electricity in the air. We talked about it a lot on the live. Just so much fun. Before we get too deep into this, I just wanted to make sure that if you have a chance, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Helps us out a ton to get these videos out there and get more people watching. Is always great. And I also wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor, Neill's Flowers and Gifts. If you haven't had the chance when you visit Pullman, go ahead and stop by. They're right over there by Rico's downtown. Awesome ice cream. We love the breakfast burritos. They're so good. And then there's also a great little gift shop with really unique Coug stuff that you wouldn't find at the Bookie or the Crimson and Gray store. So go ahead and check that out the next time you're in town and say hi to Chris Chandler. Nice guy. Loves to talk about the Cougs.
yeah, he's a great guy. I got the opportunity to meet him when I was in Pullman last weekend for Apple Cup, and what a nice guy. Also want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, Williams Barbecue Sauce. That was something that Drew and I were able to enjoy for the very first time together in Pullman. We had the pulled pork sandwich that we got from John, a friend a friend of Drew's, so to speak, that I happened to meet the night before, and just a wonderful guy. But Williams Sauce Barbecue, you guys do not want to miss this. I've taken enough from Drew to the point where he doesn't have any. And so I'm kind of enjoying. I'm hogging the sauce. I've got it all stacked in my pantry back here, and yeah, I'll be sure to get Drew some though. But Williams Barbecue Sauce, guys, go ahead and grab it. We'll put their link down in the description below.
Absolutely. We also just wanted to real quick just say a huge thank you to everybody that helped us put on that live show in the tailgate lot. The generosity of Cougs is just always amazing from the folks that helped us do the live episode from the back of their RV. That was the Hillborns.
Yep, CJ and Danielle. It was wonderful to have them help us out, but we got to do it off the back deck or the porch, and that was really nice. And then we also got Wi-Fi help from a guy that had Starlink, Paul Zering, or on X. You guys can follow him. His name is Cougasaurus.
Yeah.
Just a good group of people. They bent over backwards to help Drew and I and make sure that this podcast could go well. And just the love and support that you feel from Cougs was naturally there without so much as a general conversation as to who they were, what they were about. Just, you're a Coug, we want to support you, and we're happy to help you.
Yeah, not to mention all the people that offered us food. Holy smokes. I was practically rolling down the hill back to our house before the game because I was so full from all the stuff that everybody was offering us. So pretty great there. And then lastly, we're not sponsored by them, but go ahead and drink it. Old Crimson Lager, delicious, supports WSUNIL efforts, all kinds of good stuff in the can for a good cause too.
Definitely. We'll be getting my wife the Paddock Spirits, and I'm sure she'll enjoy that one.
Okay, last thing, and then I swear we're going to get into talking about the Cougs and the Dogs, and then, of course, the upcoming week. Your Seattle Mariners tonight are AL West champions for the first time since I was 3, almost 4 years old. So, yeah, it's been a while, but it feels good to kind of have that curse and that streak broken finally.
Yeah, it's nice to be on top. Obviously, I know that I'm adopted kind of into the Seattle Mariners fan base, but as soon as I moved to Seattle, I knew that I wanted to kind of embrace the culture and everything, certain things less permitting, but I won't bring them up with different sports teams. and various foods. Again, won't bring them up. But I love being a part of the greater Washington State and obviously Seattle, and enjoying our sports teams have success is important.
Yeah, just so many years of teams that could have been a little bit better, or just had that one tough streak that put them behind. So just so awesome, and really, like, there's nobody hotter in baseball than us. And I genuinely look at the playoff the MLB playoffs, and I think I don't look at any other teams and think I'm not all that worried about just about anybody else. So this is our year, and I'm all in.
Well, that was like when, obviously Cal Raleigh came on and announced after the game, let's go F and win this whole thing, right? I'm not going to say it, but, because
awesome.
we got to make sure we don't.
Yeah, no, that was legendary. What an amazing season, an amazing catcher. 60 home runs tonight.
Should be MVP. And if he's not, it's a travesty.
Honestly, and it probably comes from being a Coug fan, I'm just like prepared for the disappointment that he won't be. Like he'll end up getting second to Judge, and but hey, maybe I'll be surprised. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so Washington State obviously falls short in the Apple Cup. They play 3/4 of pretty good football, aren't able to get off the field on defense. Darrin, your initial thoughts following the Apple Cup loss 59-24 to Washington?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was thinking, on the very first play for a sack, I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And I've got the view right from the sideline, like they're only 20 feet from me.
Yeah.
I have media coverage and everything. And it was exciting. And then all of a sudden it's like, and then they went up 14-0, and you're like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. But I love the resolve that the offense really showed in really responding and coming back. I think that's what made that game exciting. And that's what, if you look at the likes of Zevi behind, center right now, he looks to be the quarterback that we've been waiting for, and, certainly respect how he goes about his business and how he seems to manage the team.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in what you see with him versus the likes of Potter. All due respect to Potter because he deserves it. It just looks a little bit better, and that's honestly how I feel. Defensively, I thought getting off the field was important, and instead of the offense hurting so much against the defense like they did in the North Texas game, I just thought we just really couldn't respond defensively this last week in the way that we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always strange to say we played well in a 25-point loss, and I think Husky fans would probably point and laugh at us like, "Oh, that's cute. You feel like you played well when we smacked you guys around." But the bottom line is, we put the fear of God in them for a little bit there. I mean, they were showing Jed Fish on the sidelines. I got a chance to go back and rewatch the game, and he looked worried. Well, like all the way until the start of the fourth quarter, because I think they really thought that they were going to come in and just stomp us right out the gates. We knew that wouldn't be the case. We knew that the situation against North Texas was kind of a unique deal.
A fluke. Yeah.
Yeah. My takeaways are this. I mean, we have a QB now, a legitimate QB. And the reason why I think that the rest of the season is going to be different for the Cougs is primarily because we have Zevi at quarterback. And he runs the offense smoothly. He makes good reads for the most part, and he throws a really, really catchable ball. Even if it's like on some of his deep balls, he slightly underthrew them, but that's great. We'll draw pass interference calls. Should have had a few more than we did, but you can just see his control of the offense. Way less procedural calls. Way less. We didn't get called for illegal formation or illegal motion. We ran the ball. We were had a lot fewer mistakes with him under center. Despite the fact that we let UW score on literally every single drive, their punter never saw the field the whole game. There was a lot of positives on defense. I felt like we just couldn't make the play. If we dragged Damon Williams all the way to the ground on that third down, if we're able to knock the ball away on some of these third and long, I mean, just so many times we had them in 3rd and 6 or longer, and they converted. I think they were 8 of 9 or 9 of 10 or
8 of
something crazy like that. So you're just not going to win games when you allow that. But I mean, obviously we could have made some plays, but I feel like my biggest takeaway from watching us go up against their offense is that Damon Williams is a dude. Like I think
He is.
I said pregame, I'm like, if we can get pressure on him, if we can get him kind of jumpy back there, and we did put pressure on him, and he bounced right back up. We hit him hard a few different times when he scrambled. We hit him. Parker McKenna just blasted him on that third down at the end of the half, and he just popped right back up. And he literally, outside of overthrowing Denzel Boston on the first drive of the game, he literally didn't make a mistake. I mean, the guy was nails the whole game long, and I hate to say it because he's a Husky, but I mean, I'm a fan. Like, I was really impressed.
I'm a fan too, and I actually was listening to, I forget which show he was on, but Rick Neuheisel was basically saying today that with Ohio State coming into town, this is kind of like their national championship. He thinks this is the kind of performance that's going to put him in the Heisman conversation. If he can perform the way he's capable of performing, Damon Williams can certainly be that guy there.
Yeah.
Standing in New York, ready to get that trophy. But
yeah, I mean, you're talking about
take a lot.
Electric speed, elite decision making. I mean, just incredibly accurate on his throws. Like some of those throws to Denzel Boston, where Boston was covered, but he just put it high and outside and in a place where only his receiver can go get it. And there's not a whole lot you can do as a defense. So as frustrating as it is to watch a defense that can't get off the field, I give a lot of credit to UW's offense. And I think they've scored now on 13 straight possessions or something crazy like that. So that goes even back before our game. So I don't think we're going to play against offenses quite like that for the rest of the season. There is one question I wanted to kind of discuss and talk about. So one of the things that I noticed in this game is there's always been a talent gap between WSU and UW. Even when we're a better team, they still have, as far as raw talent goes, a better roster on paper most years. This year, I felt like that talent gap was deeper and bigger than it ever has been before, particularly at the line of scrimmage. So there's two reasons that I think are obvious why. One is their roster's worth $30 million that Coach mentioned after the game. Ours is definitely not that. I don't know what the exact number of our that we're paying our roster, but easily a fraction of that. Or
around 1 million.
Or is it the fact that we have a brand new coach? We have 75 new players. A lot of them are FCS transfers. I'm just wondering, is this a talent gap that we're just going to see here from now on and it might even get bigger? Or is this something that just because of the turnover that we've had recently, that's why we're noticing the bigger gap?
It's going to be as a Coug, I mean, you don't want to ever say anything that's negative, but at the same time, you also want to face reality. It's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah, it's both.
It's the initial upfront on what it is that, kind of coming in with talent that's coming from different programs that are more at the FCS level.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, I'm with, Jimmy Rogers' mindset. You're not coming in here to make excuses. You got to come in here and perform the best that you can and move forward. On the other side of that, how do we continue to support him so that he can find those players that he needs and ultimately, get to the success that we know that he's capable of? At the end of the day, I still think this will be a successful season if he can get to the 6 or 7 wins, which I believe he still can. There's a path there. It's just that it's going to be a hard road and it's going to be a lot of learning. It's going to be a lot of leadership from the likes of Zevi and other seniors that are on this roster and how they go about their business. But yeah, the talent gap has always been there. They said the same thing in 2008 Apple Cup. But I'll tell you, Drew, my favorite player on the Huskies at that time was Owen.
0-12.
0-12, baby. 0-12.
Yeah, no, I guess I just wonder, like, there's a lot of Cougs out there that I think are sitting there going, well, this is just our reality now. We're just going to be that much worse talent-wise than UW. And I truly believe that if we give Coach Rogers a few years to kind of recruit at an FBS level, get the guys in that fit his scheme, both on defense and offense, I think in 2 or 3 years you'll watch the Apple Cup and you'll still probably say UW has the upper hand as far as talent goes, but it won't be quite as obvious as it was this year.
Yeah, there's still something to be said, certainly about that talent disparity. It's there. You just have to face reality. But at the same time, we can't go kicking our cans off the side of the railroad tracks just because we're disappointed that this
No.
happened. This team showed up and showed out
Yeah,
when they're down 14-0, and by all means,
exactly.
they could have been kicked in the teeth that much further if they'd have just laid dead, and they didn't. So again, I think the Coug fans have a lot to be proud of. I know the result is not what we're proud of, but the boys and the coaching staff feel it much worse than we do, and we got to respect that.
Yeah. No, I think we'll be all right. All right, we'll move into players of the game. I'm happy to go first if you'd
Go for it.
like. All right, my player of the game is absolutely Zevi Ekkaus. I think there's only one option. Zevi goes 25 of 36, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he did turn the ball over 3 times, but at that point in the game, other than the first interception, those last 2 were definitely just him trying to be a hero and try to find a way, even though we couldn't quite get a stop on defense. So Zevi's the man. We talked about just his control of the offense. I love the way he created with his feet. We had a quarterback running game that we haven't seen really all season outside of a few Duggar runs. And really what I think we saw on Saturday was what this offense is supposed to look like under this OC. A good mix of a running game, probably passed a little more than he would like to at 36 times, but yeah, all in all, I think our offense under Zevi is going to be much better moving forward. So he gets my player of the game.
I actually completely agree with you. I think that Zevi was the player of this game. I know that some might say, well, why was he the player of the game when it was like this? I think it's because our offense looked fluid. It looked a lot different, much to what you alluded to. I think that this team can respond now that we feel like we have an offense that can move the ball down the field, particularly against the $30 million roster.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's how I feel. And I feel more confident right now with Zevi at the helm, albeit, if something comes up, obviously we want those other guys to be prepared, but Zevi looks to be the guy. And I think it was everything we kind of anticipated. And I'm excited to see what he does the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Darrin, you can take this one first.
Yeah, I think, you could certainly point for the ugly, like different possessions, at least offensively late. I think one of the things that obviously was the pick 6 from Zevi, which seemed to pull air both out of the team and out of the stadium.
Yeah,
when it happened, because
so many people started leaving.
I know, you could see it from the field, and that's where I was sitting there going, oh, well, this is not good, but I'm going to stay here till the end and keep supporting.
Yeah.
But I also remember I don't know if it was at that same time, but it was certainly around that time. I do remember Christian Hilborn on the sideline. I have it recorded. It's up on TikTok and Instagram, I think. But he basically stood up and he's like trying to get the entire crowd in it. He's getting everybody jacked up. Again, I don't recall if it's at the same time, but that type of energy you could still feel throughout the entire game. The coaches are still coaching, the players are still listening, they're active on the sidelines. I'm literally, I can't listen to everything because I'm walking by them, but I see the intensity for which they're listening to their coaching staff and the intensity for which the coaching staff is still coaching them despite what known outcome is going to be. So even though it looked ugly, I'm again, and I'll go back to Zevi. I know I'm speaking hot air at this point, but that's kind of my ugly.
Yeah.
What about you for your ugly?
Sorry, okay, starting with ugly. You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but in my opinion, my ugly is how badly we collapse once the team feels like the game is out of reach. And that's something that I feel like just comes from a mental weakness, probably amongst the team. It's just like, man, when this team quits, it spirals out of control fast. And we saw it in the North Texas game as soon as the team felt like the game was out of reach. And we saw it against UW. Like, I honestly think that talent wise, when you're lagging behind, you have to give 1000% effort at all times to just hang in there. And that's what we were doing against the Huskies. And as soon as that dial got cranked back just a little bit, as soon as there was a little bit of doubt in our mind, like, hey, we're not playing to win this game anymore, we're just playing because of pride, all of a sudden they just flattened us on every single play. Like, they were gashing us for 20, 30, 40 yards on every single run. We couldn't protect on offense. Zevi was getting killed back there. I mean, it got really, really ugly really, really fast. And so it's just a little bit of a concern for me. And I know that that was something that Leach, when he came into the program, kind of had to fix on our team. And he kind of tried to start the mantra of just play the next play. And it doesn't matter what the scoreboard is. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You're just going to play the next play as hard as you can. And I think that that concerns me a little bit, is just once the team kind of mails it in, it gets real sloppy and real ugly. And that's a part of the reason why the score spun out of control. And it does really, at the end of the day, a loss is a loss, a win is a win. Does it really matter if it was 59-24 or if it was 42 to 30 or 27? It really doesn't matter. But I would like to see some of that resolve. Like, hey, yeah, now we're down by 3 scores, but we got the ball back. Let's go move the ball like we've been doing the whole game. And instead it was like just total collapse. So hopefully that's something that I know the coaches are without a doubt working on, and
Yeah,
we
they'll
won't see
address it,
quite
I
as much.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as the season moves forward. All right, let's do some positive here. Let's do the good.
Yeah. I think for me, it still kind of goes back to honestly having Zevi at the helm. I know we're constantly saying this, but there is just excitement. You could see the way in which he makes his reads. Things certainly are more efficient. You could see that he's just more fluid. He seems to command the offense a little bit better. And I like that we started the game with a run play with him in this game, like just the
Yes.
basic. And they did. Rogers and the offense did everything that Brink and I said that basically they should be doing, which is basically going lateral side to the sideline. And
Yeah.
they started out their plays that way with some rollouts. It didn't open up the run game the way we wanted it to, but
Yeah.
it still kind of opened up some looks that they needed. And particularly, I think, late in the second quarter there. So I think
Yeah.
that was what the positive was of the game, was just having Zevi at the helm and being able to kind of move the ball.
Yeah.
14-0. My initial thoughts was, oh, if our offense is anything like it's been,
Yeah.
then we're in trouble. But sure
Yeah.
enough, Zevi and et al. Kind of just did it, and it was exciting to watch.
Yeah, we kind of talked about the importance of the Cougs getting out to a fast start, and boy, did they not do that with with going down so fast. Okay, so I also had Zevi, but I'm going to say something totally different because we've harped on it so much. I'm going to say for me, the good was seeing so many wide receivers catch the ball. We've talked about it before. The offense, our receivers in particular, are so much they're the most talented group in my opinion on this team, and you saw so many different guys catch the ball, including, I got to give a shout out to Bo Baker. First career college catch, first TD, the 6'6", 255-pound redshirt freshman from Springfield, Kentucky. Man, I would love to see that guy catching the football for us more moving forward. I don't know how you defend a man that's that big down the field, but yeah, I just loved he spread the ball out. Josh Meredith caught the ball. We saw Ellison make some plays, which was really great to see him back on the field. So I really feel like if Brink kind of talked about it, like Zevi just being a ball distributor, getting the ball into the guys that can make a move and make plays. If he can keep doing that, I think our offense is going to be just fine moving forward. Okay, the bad, we'll go back, we'll be negative again, and my bad is that we just couldn't get off the field on third down, which I think hurts in a few different ways. One, obviously the Huskies kept on moving the ball, and we never got it back, but also it just kills morale when you just have third and long just get converted over and over and over again, and especially like we had Damon dead to rights on a few of those plays, and he just found a way, and so I think we'll do better this next week, especially because Colorado State's offense doesn't exactly scare me too much, but you can't win games giving up 8, letting the other team go 8 for 9 on third down. So
Yeah, if you can't get off the field and give your offense the ball, then how are you going to ever stand a chance to score?
yeah,
I don't know that there's much to really add there. You could certainly say one missed tackle or one missed thing here or there, but I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's that collective effort on that third down, because you could even see that he could throw it on third down and make a throw,
right,
or he ran it, or they gave it to Coleman. I mean,
yeah,
they seem to have everything open. Like the playbook just seemed to work
yeah,
for them. And that's where
yeah,
I would say it's kind of that defensive effort and the scheme at a certain point, because nine opportunities and you get
yeah,
8 of them.
yeah,
That's how are you preparing to defend that? And I
yeah,
think in looking at that, that's got to be something that the defensive staff looks at.
yep. All right, scores that caught our eye are from around college football. We can do this one pretty quick. I'll go first. Oklahoma State loses to Tulsa 19-12 at home, and this comes after being absolutely blasted by Oregon 69-3 the week before, and it leads to Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State parting ways after more than 20 seasons as their head man. It's going to be a new era in Stillwater.
Yeah, there's already been rumors that I guess Oklahoma State has reached out to Nick Saban. Have you heard this? I don't know if I'm reading the right rumors. I could certainly pull it up right now if I felt like it.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were gonna say our old OC that's at Oklahoma right now. I thought you were gonna say
You mean North Texas? Oh, well, I suspect that he'll probably be in the mix. I also suspect Eric Morris could be in the mix, because Eric
yeah,
Morris from North Texas, one of our old OCs too, he's going to be a hot name and a hot commodity this offseason.
yeah,
But right now, the coaching carousel is wide open. I think that's more of where like a score, like how many coaching vacancies are already open, and we're only in what, week 4? Like
mm,
I'm so scared. Like next week, are we going to have 2 more? Like the coaching carousel is just going to look crazy.
yeah,
That's what really has me alarmed. I don't know if there's anything beyond that score that really startled me. I mean, anything you could certainly say UCF and North Carolina, with UCF like thwarting North Carolina like 34
yeah.
to 9. That was a score that surprised me. But
Poor Belichick.
ultimately, yeah, ultimately it's this coaching carousel that's starting already. Like it's
Yeah,
very scary to see. I think we're going to
yeah,
have between, I would say, at least 15 coaching changes throughout the FBS level. 15.
yeah. One more score that caught my eye was Cal being absolutely manhandled by the San Diego State Aztecs. So that win all of a sudden doesn't look too shabby. And I that does give me confidence moving forward that there's still enough wins on this schedule to get to 6 or 7, like you mentioned, and find a way to get to a bowl game, which
Yeah,
really
I still think
is
we can. I don't have.
that is the what. All right, moving into our Week 5 opponent preview with the Colorado State Rams. The games. This is a matchup between two future Pac-12 conference members. It's gonna kick off Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on our favorite network, the CBS Sports Network. Hopefully, we actually get to watch the opening kickoff because they're usually known for starting games a little on the late side. Colorado State is fresh off the narrow defeat to UTSA. They lost 17-16 at home. They also lost their season opener to UW 38-21, and they now sit at 1-2 with their lone win coming over Colorado State 21-17. What are your initial thoughts on this matchup? What are some of the keys to the Cougs coming out of there with a victory?
I think it's going to be offense.
Yeah.
I really do for this game. I think if we can get out front and just be really physical and show our physicality to start this game, that's going to be the difference in this game. I think the defense can certainly do their job in holding this team down based on everything I see. Obviously, pushing UW early on in the season, I think those are the type of games where you look at a team like UW and you go, well, it's a learning game for them. They learned,
Right.
they grew.
Yep.
And then you have Colorado State that I think learned a lot about themselves that game, right? They were able to be really effective. But since then, they've kind of been stagnant on their offense. I think our offense needs to be able to set the tone in this game, move out in front. I think we need to worry about running the ball this game because I think if we can run the ball and showcase that we can get physical and move the ball, running downhill, I think there's no telling what our offense can do because it'll just build self-esteem and confidence for the offensive line and the running back moving forward.
Yep. A few names to watch out for on Colorado State is their quarterback, Fowler Nicolosi. I'm guessing I'm saying that wrong, but we'll run with it. He's completing 54% of his passes. He has 488 yards on the season, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. He has been sacked 5 times. So really, when you watch him, not much of an athletic threat, and I don't worry too much about him passing on us. Although I say all that with the way our defense is played, you never know. But those are the guys. And then they're running back Dupree. He has 40 carries, 99 yards on the season, and he's averaging 5 yards per play. Their other running back, Avant, has 20. He's gotten less carries, but he is averaging 7 yards a play. And then their leading wide receiver, Winfield, he has 10 receptions for 142 yards on the year, averaging 14 yards a catch. So their offense doesn't scare me too much, although with the way our defense has been playing, you just never know. I think the keys to the game for the Cougs are this. You just broken record here, but let's start a game out by not going down by 2 scores. Let's come out, let's make a stop on the first drive and then go score, because I think that's going to go a long ways against a team, especially like Colorado State, that probably has a lot of self-doubt at this point after losing at home to UTSA. Let's just come out, take a lead, and try to keep it going, because I think playing from behind has been something that's it's just never good to play from behind. So hopefully we can, especially on the road, so hopefully we can kind of get out to a fast start there.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly why being able to control the line of scrimmage, get the run game going immediately so that you can open up the passing game that much more. This is the game to get the run game going once and for all and showcase what it's really capable of.
Absolutely.
And Angel is going to be the key to this game, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say over 100 yards.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will go as far to say I think we will rush for over 100 yards combined. But I think it's going to be Zevi running the football a little bit. I think it's going to be Voorhees getting some carries. But yeah, the way our offense flowed so many points last week, I don't see any reason why we couldn't keep that going against Colorado State. And then hopefully I'd love to see our defense give them a short field a few times. It's one of the things that was so impressive about the offense against UW is that they were driving the length of the field every single time they had the ball, because we were starting at the 25. So it'd be really great to see a turnover or two, maybe a special teams play that gives the Cougs a short field, and allows our offense to cash in a few more times.
Okay, Drew, I'm going to make a wager on here with you, not financial. But I say the Cougs go over 150 yards rushing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I like it.
But here's the deal. If it goes over or under, one of us has to do 20 push-ups right here on the pod for our fans to watch.
Sounds good to me. I love it. So you look at the rest of the season, and we'll wrap this up after this. You look at the rest of the season, we know we made our season predictions at the beginning of the year. Do you still you want to change yours? You want to change yours? What do you see? So you had 9 wins, I think, total, and you had us undefeated up to this point. Not to rub it in your face, but I'm perfect on my predictions so far this season. I had us at 2-2. So this is right where
Drew, is
I
this
thought
your
we'd be. This is right where I thought we'd be. And here's the deal: you just had to know that there was going to be some growing pains. That North Texas game scared me. I didn't expect us to get completely whomped in that game. So that prediction was a little bit off, but I still feel like there's so much to play for the Cougs this season. Really, just finding a way to get to a bowl game. You do have Oregon State on the schedule twice. They're winless. I still see us splitting that because I do think Oregon State's going to get better as the season goes on. I think they're gonna break through and figure some things out. But you still have Toledo on the schedule. You still have James Madison at the end of the season. You still have, I think we can beat Virginia. You still have some games on the schedule that at Louisiana Tech that I think we can find a way to get to that magic number of 6.
I think 6 is still doable. It would take basically both games against Oregon State for 7 is what I...
Yeah. Yep.
And that's
Yep.
still going to be hard.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun, but I think that's going to be a hard ask. So
it'll be interesting to see. Well, we'll be watching. We'll be there to react to it after the game. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening to another episode of the Fieldhouse Report. Again, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you get the chance. We really appreciate all of you being along for the ride. And as always, go Cougs.
go Cougs.